Coming up
Does
on
he
Hot
think
Tag
that
Reviews.
Shawn did this to get out of dropping the title to Bret at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Logan, do you think Shawn
Good
Michaels lost his smile to get out of dropping the belt to Bret Hart at Mania?
On Fortnite?
I think that intro's on.
It's the final four. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Thanks for joining in, lads. It really helped. The worst backing singers ever. Apparently, it is another episode of Hot Tag Reviews. We are still following the journey of 1997. Today, we are looking at the World Wrestling Federation's presentation of In Your House 13, the Final Four. I am Rob Campbell. I'm alongside.
It's Daniel, not related to Lady Gaga or Shaggy Cornfield.
Oh.
You alright, lads?
Yes!
And I'm Martin Holland, for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, indeed. It is February 16th, 1997 we're taking you back to today. We're in the UTC Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There was a capacity of 10,995 in terms of the venue size. I don't know, because apparently it looked sold out, but it definitely wasn't. Hard cam, I say. 6,399 is the official attendance.
Yeah.
The buy rate year on year for this event. So the In Your House the following the previous year, even in 1996, drew a buy rate of 150,000 versus this pay-per-view that was down 30,000 at 120,000. Interesting.
Okay. I would have thought it had only gone up at this point.
Me too.
Then again, it's just come after Rumble.
Yeah.
So maybe it's fatigue between the two shows, seeing what's next.
Yeah, so this show was like an hour and 43 minutes. It was a cheaper, event. In Your House was sold at around $15, I believe, whereas like the next month, for example, WrestleMania is going to be around $60. There's a bit of a steep difference there, isn't there?
Yeah.
But here we are.
I don't know why the buy rate's down on this one.
Go on then.
I have actually researched it. This is a genuine answer.
Fuck.
It's because Ahmed Johnson was not booked. I'll lie. It's on Wikipedia. I'll put it on there myself.
You're going down. You're going down. Well, we will, of course, talk about Martin's favourite wrestler in 1997, the new sensation of 1996, the Kuwaiti Trophy winner himself, Ahmed Johnson. But for now, we always get the intro that we want. The World Wrestling Federation, for over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports and entertainment. We get a video package basically showing us that Shawn Michaels is a pussy. Sorry, I mean, he went on a journey and became the WWF champion, and then he lost his smile, and now 4 men are going to fight for the title tonight. Western Union, the sponsors of the show, get an absolutely huge shout out compared to Starburst the previous month.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you reckon of that, Mark? Because you were dead angry about Starburst not getting anything last month.
It's just a bit of a weird one, eh? Like, it's like Western Union. Like, obviously, it's still going today, so it's a big fucking deal. But fucking hell, Starburst.
So Starburst.
What I'm going to say, Western Union is the fastest way to send money worldwide. I mean,
Thanks,
what does Starburst have?
All right, fucking hell. The shares have just gone up, haven't they?
Sounded like Jerry the King Lawler for a second there, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to blimp as well at the same time.
Somebody's keeping his eye on the fucking FTSE 100,
Oh, fantastic.
200 hot tag.
You get 10% off your first shares, yeah?
Hey, don't give our website domain away for free like that. Fucking hell, we ain't set it up yet. So anyway, we start off with Wildman Mark Merrow's music. No fireworks, no pyro, no big crack camera shot, crowd, whatever. We just get Wildman Mark.
He was already halfway down the aisle as well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And I mean, his opponent was already in the ring. He didn't even get a pay-per-view TV entrance. He got the jobber entrance. There you go. But the main difference that we have tonight is that we're greeted by Jim Ross's voice instead of Vince McMahon, who is, of course, with his legendary partner, Jerry the King Lawler. So have we fixed the problem that we talked about last month, lads?
I think, yeah, definitely. There's a massive improvement in the commentary for me because it doesn't feel like there's someone breaking up their patter, their banter. They seem to have a perfect balance.
Yeah, and that's what it's like on the course of the show. Like Jim Ross and Lawler give so much emotion. You know, the biggest moments are only as good as the people that are calling them that you're watching on the telly. Do you know what I mean? And like when you've got somebody going, "Oh, look at that maneuver!" Like what Vince McMahon would, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, get out. You get out the 80s. You know, it's times are moving on now. And like, you know, this is good. It was really, really noticeable. Yeah. Some of the big moments was made better by the people that was calling them. Do you know what I mean?
I think we spoke about it last time that some of the greatest calls in history.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even remember the moment in wrestling, but you remember.
Well, you hear it, yeah. You hear it, yeah.
So, and 9 times out of 10, Jim Ross's voice is attached.
Definitely.
I think with the exception of maybe it's RoboCop, but we haven't got Tony Giovanni yet.
I'm sure that was Jim Ross for RoboCop. I'm not going to lie to
you. It could be.
The exceptions for me are it's Kane. It's got to be Kane. Mankind's the champion. That'll really put butts in seats. And more recently is when someone dived off a cell and said announcer went, "For the love of mankind," to reference the Mankind bump off the cell.
You got a little pop off there.
No, I didn't really, because it was so scripted. It wasn't delivered with passion. It was already pre-written for him. You could tell. Do you know what I mean? And that's what annoys me about that call compared to the likes of JR's calls and Vince's. Vince shouldn't have revealed Kane. We talked about it on the Watch Along episode when we watched Shawn versus Taker and in the cell, and Kane made his debut. But the thing is, Vince shouldn't have revealed it as early as he did. But it will now always be remembered as an iconic announcement, if you like.
Yeah. I agree. I do just want to mention as well the French commentary team. Because I've spoke to you two lads about it. I misread the one guy's name.
What, this time round?
Yeah. So along with Ray Rougeau was a guy called Jean Brastard.
Brassard? That's French bastard. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, mate.
So it's like being called, "Oh, we've got Jacques Renault here. Oh, who's he with? Derek Cunt."
Well, you've given away who was on French commentary. You get Carlos and Hugo on the Spanish announce table. The pyro's going off in the ring for Mark Merrow, who has Sable by his side. And already in the ring, oh wow, yeah, whopping, yeah. And then already in the ring is Leaf Cassidy, aka Al Snow.
Jesus Christ. It makes you think like Al Snow is probably a year out from the head gimmick?
Yeah.
I think it's about a year because I think he goes to ECW, finds head there, which
as you do.
And
Francine or
both. Kayfabe and shoot, brother. But it's weird how many gimmicks they've tried to put on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, so Summerslam 96 is my first memory of Leaf Cassidy. Yeah. He was obviously teaming with Marty Giulietti as part of a repackaged Rockers gimmick in a fatal four-way tag team match. And there's no doubt that Al Snow, Leif Cassidy, whatever you want to call him at this point, has great wrestling ability. Hence why putting him together with Mart's mate, Marty Giulietti.
I've never even met him. I don't know why you put that presumption together.
Anyway, he's still your mate. So Marty Giulietti, who obviously was a fantastic wrestler, and
first class murderer.
He's still not.
That's his words, not mine.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a poet as well.
Maybe.
Murderers and poets sort of.
I wonder if Shakespeare was a fucking lunatic as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: he was Jack the Ripper.
Oh right.
Yeah, but remember, Rob, we've spoke about this many times. Everything that's happened in history, who caused
Kate and Jerry McCann.
Hashtag Kate and Jerry did it.
We're looking at you, and we're telling you we don't believe your bullshit. The Netflix documentary proves that you're guilty.
Yeah.
He doesn't, but it's fun to say that you did it.
Can I ask a question about Sable?
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Sable. Let's talk about her all day, please. Let's do this.
Do you think she's just got the one black eye or two?
That's an interesting fact. So for people who haven't watched this event yet, if you do end up watching it, it's only a 5-match card, so it's worth checking out. Only an hour and 43 minutes at a time. Mark Merrow and Sable. Sable is wearing sunglasses, and it's referenced quite often during the match by the commentary team. King putting over, oh, she's too much of a big star, that's why she needs these shades, and so on and so forth. But Mark, you've actually got an excellent point there, because it's quite possible back then that the Golden Gloves boxer maybe laid the smacketh down on her.
Just saying, like.
I think there was
strongly tinted glasses for an indoor event.
Yeah.
I was expecting, when I saw the glass, I thought she was coming out with a seeing eye dog. I thought that she'd find a new gimmick. But I didn't see the dog, I only saw Mark Merrow. So I'll let it.
Disclaimer, we don't condone domestic violence.
No.
Moving on. So the referee is Mike Chioda. We got Howard Finkel ring announcing, which is great. God rest his soul. The match itself starts quite slow, I think. It's quite technical, and then it starts to brawl on the outside. So, you know, it's a bit mixed, but eventually Merrow hits a springboard leg drop of sorts. So he jumps from the apron to the inside and lands exactly on Leif Cassidy's face.
The question I've got, though, is it Merrow overshot or was Leif in the wrong place?
Vote now at...
That's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, Mark, what's your opinion on that one, mate?
It's just a bag of shit, ain't it?
You
know, Mr. Motivator nowadays, fucking Wildman, whatever the fucking name he is. You know, just fucking sort your shit out, man. Just like fucking put your leg over the rope and just bend your leg just a little bit. You ain't got to fucking sit on somebody's face. You haven't even got to stamp on somebody's face. It ain't real. Just because you battered your missus backstage, you ain't got to fucking jump on people's faces in the ring. Do you know what I mean? To work. I don't know if somebody's told you that, but it is. Believe it or not.
No one smartened Merrow up. No one told him it was all a work.
Exactly. Somebody, please tell the wild man it's a work.
So anyway, after Mart's first meltdown of the evening, there's eventually a nice cut off, and the leg of Merrow gets worked. There is no reaction from the crowd throughout this entire match. The match goes 9 minutes 31 seconds. There's a bit of interference from Sable on the outside. There's a slap followed by a suicide dive, and Mero at this point has forgotten all about selling his leg. He then remembers it as he does a Samoan drop to set up for the shooting star press. He takes his time while he's up there, and he finally hits it. It's executed quite well when he does land it. He doesn't, knee somebody in the face. Shout out to my mate Billy Kidman. But, it's the finish. It's 1, 2, 3, and the Wildman Mark Mero, the babyface in the opening match of a WWF pay-per-view, surprise, surprise, gets the victory. What do we think, lads?
I love Mark Mero. I actually quite like Mark Mero. What you do outside the ring is your own business. Sunglasses can help. But in response to the match, it was so. But I love seeing that shooting star press.
Yeah, it was great.
I like his version. Also, it's quite weird how Sable, who's married to Mero, her future husband, also would hit quite a famous shooting star press.
He would. So, WrestleMania 19, Mr. Lesnar.
Yeah.
Completely overshot it, not quite sure, nearly broke his neck. Fantastic.
Yeah. Sideball definitely got in his ear at that point and said, my man Mero back in the day, he did this. You big man, do you think you can do that? That's what's happened. And he's gone,
Martin Harlan's impression of the week. Martin Harlan's impression of the week.
You know what I thought of this match?
What?
I thought it was the fucking pits. I thought it was like the fucking bottom of the pit. You do like the stage fatality on Mortal Kombat, and they go all the way to the bottom of the pit. We fucking passed that. Like,
oh wow, what a reference! I love it.
You know why? One reason. I started the match.
I thought you were going to say the sunglasses, mate. Sorry.
No, not even that. Not even that. I started watching the match. I was about halfway through, and then I thought, hang on, I need to watch this again. Because I need to count something. I need to count how many gut kicks there was in this match. How many kicks to the gut there was. Right. You know how much I got to before I got bored?
Go on.
32.
20. Oh, 32.
Wow. In the two guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck. Oh. Dang it, that's
literally, I was like, hang on. Like, they keep kicking each other in the gut. Like, what's going on here?
It was a competition, bro.
It became embarrassing. And I got bored and I stopped counting after about 30, 32. So it's fucking diabolical.
So what's your star rating, Mark?
Fucking 0.
Wow. Okay. Done.
Fucking 0.
I've got 1 star.
Yeah.
1 star.
Okay, you would. You would. So why have you got 1 star? Because Martin's obviously quite angry about his, reasons to rate it 0 stars. I don't know if this is a theme to come throughout the night, but here we go.
Personally, I didn't think it was too bad of a match. I mean, it was starting to push the angle of Mero getting jealous of Sable to the point where it will eventually become arguably, like I said, what happened in the ring is one thing, but happened another. So it leads to that. And like I say, I like Mark Mero. Personally, I'm a fan of Mark Mero.
Okay.
So I've got 1 star.
That's all he's got to say about that. I also went 1 star, and that was half a star for Sable, and half a star for the shooting star press.
Yeah, fair.
And if I wanted to be a knob, I'd give it an extra half a star for Mike Chioda and Ahmed Finkel. And I could give it an extra half a star, so I could get it up to 2.5 if I wanted to, with JR and King on commentary.
But then every match, by process, would at least have half a star extra.
Absolutely. So, Big Dave rated it 1.5 stars.
Okay.
Martin's in shock. We move on swiftly, and what we get here is a bit strange to me. So I'm not sure if you pick it up. I'm not sure if you notice what happens, but the Honky Tonk Man appears. Okay, so out comes the Honky Tonk Man. He hits. The music hits. He heads to the ring. And JR starts going on a tangent about Shawn Michaels dropping the title, and then he shows the promo where Shawn announces that he's handing over the belt and he's lost his smile. We will get into that. We will get into that right now. We're not going to wait until the final four match of the main event. This is where the segment happens, so let's talk about it. But what the fuck was the Honky Tonk Man doing?
I'm going to say, does anyone even know what happened on the show? What if it wasn't recorded? I mean, did it? He turns up. It's like, okay, is he announcing something?
What's he doing? Yeah,
or for Raw? And then it's like, never mind that shit. Here's Shawn Michaels, claiming to have injuries, not winning a belt.
Okay, Mart.
I'm just as puzzled as everybody else. I don't know what the fucking hell happened. I don't know if that was all supposed to be for the live audience, but they should have cut to that promo earlier on.
Yeah.
Who knows? And that was just for the live audience. Then he was supposed to just come out, do a talk, maybe do something.
Maybe get hit with his guitar. I don't know.
Because he was in Tennessee, wasn't he? So
yeah,
maybe it's something to do. Yeah, I don't know.
There was a dark match on the card while we're at it, because I mean, obviously the dark match gets more exposure than the Honky Tonk Man. It was the Godwins who beat the Headbangers in a tag team match in the free for all before this match started on pay-per-view. The Honky Tonk Man gets 0 stars.
Yeah. Fair bastard.
I can't even rate it. Nothing happened.
Yeah, he gets 0 stars. So let's go back to Shawn and his promo about losing his smile. First of all, what did you think of the promo, Dan?
If the man's clearly acting, as we all know the stories about him, but he's not a bad actor. I mean, he cried.
One of my heroes you're talking about. Just remember that and be sensitive, please.
Yeah. The man cried on command, which I actually think is really impressive. Actually felt like some real emotion behind what he said. It's complete bullshit, but at least, he made people believe it at the time, which, I can respect. But they could have cut this segment down so much. It just felt so long-winded. Or was that just me? I don't know what happened.
I kind of agree. Marty?
I brought it. I was buying what he was selling. I thought it was like, obviously I knew different, but if you sort of like put yourself in the position where you forget about what you know already in hindsight, you just look at it for what it is. I believed him. It was a good in the ring under pressure thing to do that Vince says. This is what obviously this is what needs to happen. You need to give it up and blah blah blah. And I think he did a good job, to be fair. Okay. Like I said, he cried.
He did cry. He cried.
The kid literally broke his heart.
I mean, just think a month previous at the Royal Rumble, he was coming back a man rather than a boy toy. But here he is having a moment. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of context about what Jim Ross actually said about this recently. So this was the back end of 2020 when JR was talking about this on his podcast. So JR said, I guess I found out earlier that day he was volatile, he was polarizing and volatile. So anything you heard about Shawn, it was not going to be a total shock. You kind of got used to it. But surrendering the title, I don't know if he lost his smile because he was injured or lost his smile because he couldn't handle the pressure. He was influenced by outside sources that like to poke gas on the fire. I don't know. So once you get the message of what's going to happen in the production meeting that morning, it was like, geez, that's pretty extreme. Dickhead. He didn't say that. Maybe you give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe something is really wrong, but we didn't know. But I always thought his feelings were hurt more than his knee or his back or whatever. And I don't know exactly why. He had a hard time handling and accepting the responsibility of being the top guy in the territory. So that's what Jim Ross said. The question on the back of that I've got for you both is, did Shawn do this and forfeit the title, lost his smile to get out of dropping the title to Bret at WrestleMania?
Well, let's be honest. It's not the first time he's dropped a title to avoid losing a title now, is it? Up to this point, I think 2 belts he got stripped, like tag. And this is one of 2 times he'd vacate a title. So I think, again, with the benefit of hindsight, I think he probably did want to avoid dropping it to Hart. But the only people that are going to have that answer truly are the men involved.
Wasn't they on good terms though at this point? Wasn't
ish?
It was amicable, wasn't he?
Like working relationship, like they
didn't have a backstage fight until mid '97.
So, if anything, probably everyone's avoiding the click.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to have been running the place. So, but that's my opinion. I mean,
so what do you think, Mark? Did he do it to get out of dropping the title to Bret at WrestleMania?
I think so, and I think probably Jim Ross is probably, he's holding back a bit more than what he's laying on. Like he knows a bit more. Jim, he was the guy, wasn't he, back then? He was the ear for everybody. He brought the talent in. He was the guy, wasn't he? The talent guy. So he knew a lot of things, and I think, like you say, he knew there was outside influence. He knew. Don't forget, National had, not long gone to WCW.
Yeah.
You don't know what them was saying in his ear hole about money. You don't know, Dan. Obviously, he's like, I think there is outside influences, and I think he has done it to say, I ain't dropping the belt to you. And I think that's what it just come down to. Whether that's him himself or, Nash and Hall and Co.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Exactly.
I think the shame is as well, those who are in the ring, although they were sort of quite opposite in styles, they worked amazing with one another. I can't think of a bad match between the 2 lads, like them 2 together. I mean, I'd imagine that the relationship's a bit better nowadays. But I mean, back then, though, crazy to think that like these 2 guys legitimately were on the verge of wanting to kill one another.
Yeah, sort of worked themselves into a shoot, didn't they?
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, Don, Shawn, it wouldn't be the first time that he's dropped championships in his career. So, a little bit interesting fact for you. By forfeiting the World Wrestling Federation Championship on February 13th, 1997, Shawn Michaels became the first wrestler to forfeit all 3 major championships in the World Wrestling Federation in his career. Hello! We've got a special guest.
Got a guest again. Hello, you.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
You okay?
How are you?
How are you?
I've got them jammers.
He's got. I was say, this is being cut right, or we're keeping this in.
I ain't cutting another, brother.
You go to bed now.
I'm just laughing.
You just laughing.
Spoiler alert, I'm just laughing.
Yeah.
He's class. He's dead good.
This is a new segment. 4-year-old react to commentary.
And all you're going to hear is absolute busting laughter.
Yeah. Laughter and occasionally call someone a poo.
Don, ask him what his opinion is of him dropping the belt. What does he think about that?
Does he think that Shawn did this to get out of dropping the title to Bret at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Logan, do you think Shawn Michaels lost his smile to get out of dropping the belt to Bret Hart at Mania?
On Fortnite?
Okay.
AD ratio on Fortnite. It's it's the same as mine. Same as mine. Right, no, go on. Right.
Brilliant.
Before you go to bed. No.
The show has been hijacked by a 4-year-old.
It's great. It's fantastic.
I'm going to say, until next when this spot happens again. Right. But yeah. Right.
Hi. Hello.
Jesus. Oh my personal life is unraveling. Yeah, where was we?
I don't know, something about your sister being hot or something, I don't know.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion.
It's one of them. Please cut that.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Can we just cut the last like 2-3 minutes?
Yeah, Mark, you're going to do some editing, mate.
We need to, to tell you what time it's recorded. How long's recording?
We're an hour in.
Okay, that feels weird. That
So we're about 40 minutes into the record. No, we're about 30. We're 35 minutes into the recording.
Okay, so I'll write that down.
Okay.
From about half an hour.
So
is there a thingy on there? Can you do like a star rating on there or anything?
Nah.
No.
It's just some reactions, like
Oh,
you know, Heartbreak Kid and all of that.
You need to
I don't know. Maybe we could add more. I just don't know. I can raise
2021. Fucking 3 adults discover Skype. Like,
wow. Okay.
2 weeks. I've only found out what a Google is.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is true. He didn't know what a Google was in terms of the drive and
I thought that was the part between my fucking scrotum and my asshole.
That's a good search engine, that is. So, Don relayed to it earlier in terms of yeah. It's back. Don relayed earlier to Shawn Michaels not being the first time him dropping title belts and championships. So, to give you a little bit of an interesting factoid, if you like, by forfeiting the World Wrestling Federation Championship on February 13th, 1997, Shawn Michaels became the first wrestler to forfeit all 3 major championships in the World Wrestling Federation in their career. He abandoned the Intercontinental title due to suspension in 1993. The tag team titles with Diesel in late 1994. And it would not be the only time he relinquished the title. In 1997, 4 months later, he forfeited half of his tag team championships when he was suspended following the backstage fight with Bret Hart. And he did drop the Intercontinental title as well. He handed that back twice. So the second time was in 95 when he was supposed to be dropping it to Dean Douglas. But he got battered by 16 Marines, as he likes to put it, in Syracuse, New York.
But my question is, so he was there with X-Pac at the time. Couldn't he have done some karate shit and fought off at least 15 of them? You know, he goes, whoa! Like all that.
That's a really fair point.
Live your character, brother.
What do you make of Shawn Michaels' history of dropping championships then?
Thing is, if he was any other wrestler doing it, you call him for a piece of shit. But because it's Michaels and obviously him having the ear of McMahon, he can get away with it and still like go, right, don't want the belt, have it back. Don't want to work with this person. Doesn't work for me, brother. But yeah, like I said, I mean, every time, especially at this point in his career, every time he'd get a belt, it'd be like something would come along and all of a sudden go, nah, don't want it, bored. Sort of refresh, in a weird way, refreshing. Like someone just going, nah, I'm done with this. Have it back. I don't want to lose. Just don't want it. I don't want to see it in wrestling, but I just think it's quite funny.
Martin?
I just think it's like, he's a piece of shit for doing it, to be fair, because that's just like shows a very massive lack of respect on it. You know, like, yeah, Vince McMahon's fucking sucking off left, right, and centre. He's like, just, I get it. I get why he's doing it because he's such an icon. I get it. Do you know what I mean? But like, you can't do that because that's just such a massive lack of respect. Where's Rob gone?
I'm here, mate. I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. Are you okay?
I'm here. No.
Yeah, Rob.
Can't see you.
Yeah, Rob's still there. Rob's still there.
Sorry, Marty. Can you hear me, mate? Are you okay?
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
I'm back, man. I'm back. I'm with you.
It's what happens when you talk shit on Michaels. Rob just cuts the feed.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, remove from Skype.
That's
menu.
done. Yeah.
It's happening. So yeah,
No, I think who are you to obviously give titles back? Just fucking it doesn't sit well with me. That's all.
Well, he's the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, so he can do what the fuck he wants, as far as I'm concerned. Gorilla then announces that the final 4 match will now be for the title. Originally, the match was scheduled for the winner to face the World Wrestling Federation champion at WrestleMania. Kevin Kelly has got Sid with him, and he talks about his title rematch, which is due for the next night on Raw, and the promo is all about time. I think Sid does quite well here, considering that we're live, pal.
Yeah, he definitely likes the word time. I mean, I've got it written down like in 52 seconds, he said the word 9 times.
So not as much as Mark Merrow and Leif Cassidy kicked each other in the gut, but it's still a strong, strong number.
I think it works out an average. I think it works out roughly the same average. He's a weird promo. Sid, a weird promo. He's very hit or miss. He's very hit or miss with his promos.
I think this one's a hit then.
I would say a hit.
Okay.
Definitely.
Martin?
Yeah.
How many gut kicks out of 10 would you give it?
Like, he's was Sid the one that was fucking looked like a beetroot? Not the one, yeah. Okay. Beetroot with fucking curly locks.
He did, to be fair, he did.
Like, why does the bloke always look like he's about to have a fucking his fucking body's about to burst with all the blood vessels going through his fucking body? It's just it annoys me. It annoys me more than fucking. I don't even know. It just annoys me. But you know
Does it annoy you more than Ahmed Johnson?
No.
Okay.
But it annoys me. But like in Sid, in Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice,
all of the gimmicks,
whatever you want to call him. He's this is a good day for him, isn't it? Like you said, it's a bad promo on a good day.
Yeah,
there does. So yeah, that's Sid for now. But Flash Monks music hits. That's a new gimmick, that is, by the way. He and the Funkettes make their way to the ring. JR and King do not say a single word during this entire thing. I mean, what the fuck is going on? I know what we're doing here. I know we're trying to get him over. I know it's a new gimmick as such, but fuck me. Your man, Too Cold Scorpio, has been done over here as fucking the precursor to Brodus Clay. But I can't deny my love for it at the same time. What a song. What a performance. For me, that was better than Diversity.
Oh. I'll be honest, the dancing I could give or take. It's the boots he's wearing I can't get over. It's
them pretty woman boots.
No, it's like when you go to places
Pretty woman.
When you go to places like Damon's, right?
Mm.
And they ask you, do you want to dance?
3 for 20 quid.
3 for 20 quid or 2 for a fiver. Depends on your night.
You can also see them in the back room of the Gifford as well, apparently.
Yeah, that is. I've heard the rumor. But it's just them boots I can't get over. And like Rob said, I'm a big fan of Scorpio, of Too Cold Scorpio. And
Let's talk about this rumor more.
Rumor's this, brother?
Uh,
No, let's not. So you're a big fan of Too Cold Scorpio, yeah?
Yeah. He's especially at the time, he was such a influential wrestler.
If you're such a big fucking fan of him, you refer to him by his real name, which right now is Flash Funk.
Okay, so Too Cold Scorpio over it. But I just feel he's being played dirty. It's like
They've done the dirty on him. They've put him right over, haven't they?
Yeah. The guy can wrestle, just let him wrestle. He doesn't need... I can't figure out if he's a pimp or a prostitute.
I don't know, but we're spending far too long talking about Flash Funk's entrance. It's hilarious.
It's probably the best part of this match coming up.
Yeah, Mark, yeah, that is true. Mark, what are you saying about Flash Funk's entrance?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sound. So Bart Gunn made his way to 0 stars. Bart Gunn made his way to the ring and they showed a recent match on Raw. Talk me through that Dominator that he's shown on that replay.
Was it a Dominator?
It was fucking horrible.
Or was it two people botching and it turned into something? Because spoiler alert, I think Matthew put it on Botchamania at some point.
Yeah, so it should have been on there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fucking rotten.
Most of this podcast will be on there at this rate.
My views. But no, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Martin, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sound. So Goldust and Marlena head to the ring next, as JR tells us that they all have scores to settle. Hold on, lads. Let me just get a bit more rum and coke down there.
Just because that will help the situation.
Yeah, I think it will. So JR tells us to have scores to settle with the Nation of Domination, and JC, Ice, and Wolfie D are back for another rap segment as they lead young Marshall Mathers, who is sitting at home watching this, into an erected state of euphoria to the point where he starts to write down lyrics. Those lyrics are for 8 Mile and Stan at the same time. So they make the way to the ring. They're not coming through the entrance though. They're doing a shield entrance. They're coming through the crowd, which was, quite random. I felt. Savio Vega has joined the Nation this time round. So we're ever growing. We're a growing nation. It's the only equivalent to the New World Order in the World Wrestling Federation at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, which I found really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I love how the Nation are the answer to the NWO.
Yeah.
WTF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to 97, brother.
Uncle Tom, I'm gonna fuck you up, Uncle Tom. Damn. that's
Farouk Hampton is.
Yeah, I did all right there, didn't I?
Yeah.
More rum and coke needed, I think.
Okay, I was telling the watch along when I was on the rum and coke. Jesus. I'm
fucking presenting.
Right. I watched the entrance of them and I was thinking, who would have been a better fit to rap?
Eminem.
Then I would have loved to have said Eminem. I actually think Oscar from Men on a Mission.
Oh God, let's move on.
I would have actually said.
So yeah, we're not going to talk about Mabel on this show. Thank you very much. So Flash Funk, Bart Gunn, and Goldust with Marlena take on the Nation of Domination, which is Farouk, Savio Vega, and Cruz. Jack Doan is the ref. I just want to know.
It feels like a random 6-man independent show.
Well, it is. They've just thrown 3 baby faces together just for bants, haven't they? Really?
Yeah. You got
We've
Flash
all got issues with the NWO. The Nation of Domination.
Yeah. So diverse. I love it.
I'm going to say, just feel like the booker just shouted, "Someone got the gear today. Do you want to get on?"
Yeah.
Right, you lads.
Exactly.
It's kind of like we've got nothing for you, but actually we could do with sticking you on the show. So here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty terrible, but the microphone at the beginning of the match doesn't work for Farouk. So it all kicks off. Goldust just goes, "Fuck this. We've only got 6 minutes 43 seconds.
Yeah, that's class. Best part of the match. Best part of the match is Goldust shooting on Farouk. He's like, "Hey, standing here like a dickhead."
No. Uncle Tom. It all kicks off. The baby faces stand tall. Flash Funk delivers a crossbody from the top rope to the outside, taking out everyone. Savio Vega just stood up.
This happened again later in the match. every time he would dive onto multiple people, they'd take it and then they're just instantly on him.
Yeah, Crush and Savio Vega didn't give a fuck later on, did they?
No.
When Bart Gunn chucked him over. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
Flash Funk takes the heat. There's a nice spike pile driver in there at one point. If you blinked, you would have missed the finish, really. Is the best way I can describe it. But Bart Gunn gets the hot tag, not Goldust, not the man that was fighting for the Intercontinental Championship last month. But Bart Gunn, who, botched a rocker dropper in the Royal Rumble and got eliminated.
Can I just ask a question? Why is you gone from the Royal Rumble where Goldust was against Triple H for the Intercontinental title? I know obviously in this show something will happen, but what beef does he have with the Nation?
He doesn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
JR tells us at the beginning of this match leading in, they've all got scores to settle, but they don't show anything for Goldust.
Just makes no fucking sense.
They only show something for Bart Gunn. So it's like, how have they all got a score to settle?
Have Bart Gunn against Farouk then.
Exactly. Job done.
Yeah.
Anyway, load of bollocks. Bart Gunn gets the hot tag. Go on, sorry, Don.
No, I'm gonna say they need to pay Crush somehow.
Yeah, that's true. JR calls him a jailbird during this, doesn't he, as well? It's hilarious. Just proper mugs him off. Yeah.
So he didn't rob he didn't go to prison.
Yeah.
He was just holding some money that in someone else's account, something like that.
He defo went to prison.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
I felt like something actually happened.
So he gets a hot tag. He hits a big power slam before it all breaks down. There's a good spot by Farouk and Bart Gunn that leads to the top rope Bulldog. I like that he goes for the Dominator, but Bart Gunn slides off onto the apron.
Yeah.
Farouk, there's no selling on behalf of Farouk. There's no forearm to the back of the head to move him out or anything like that. But Farouk just gets himself into position for this top rope Bulldog. And then, that should be the finish ultimately. He doesn't. He gets broke up. Crush drops the deadliest move on the planet, a leg drop to the back of the head. Yeah. Puts Farouk on top of him, and that's all she wrote. That's it. Finished 6 minutes, 43 seconds. Complete and utter waste of our time. Yeah. I'll rate it 1 star. What about you, Per?
Half a star.
Half a star.
I'll put half a star purely for Marlena.
That's good, Dennis. I like that. I like how we're doing things now. Marlena definitely deserves half a star. I don't think she was out there as she was previously, but I was all right with it.
Yeah. In what way did you buy that?
Well, she had Twin Peaks the last time. Twin Peaks weren't really on show this time round.
Yeah, she's sort of
not in this match.
Yeah, not in this match. That's true. Yeah.
Again,
there is a spoiler alert coming.
There's a focus going to be on her.
She's wearing a gold evening dress and she's puffing a cigar. What more do you want?
Very true.
Something else.
So, Austin has a promo with Michael Hayes, aka Doc Hendrix at this point. I think this is quite a ropey promo compared to what we're used to from Austin. He does get his point across and he does show his attitude, if you like. But it's not as good as it could be.
He was stuttering. He was a bit
very much. Yeah, he was. That's all we got to say about that, apparently.
It feels like the start of the whole Austin promos, like how we recognise him. Like
he's still finding himself.
Yeah, he's a lot further than Chili McDagger or whatever he was apparently going to be called.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to just get a list up somewhere and just have all the ridiculous names he would have got. Yeah. And every time I reference him, it will be something different.
Chili Steve Williams.
Wasn't
even that good.
Yeah. Nippy Williams.
Okay. So, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is already nearly in the ring as we get shown a replay of Thursday, Raw Thursday, as they call it, as Rocky Maivia takes the world by surprise and wins the Intercontinental title. What did he go on to do again?
I think he jobbed that in 2 minutes in the next Mania, and that was it.
Yeah, Rocky Maivia. So he heads to the ring with the IC title around his waist. He's introduced from the South Pacifics, which I'd never really heard before. So that did prick my ears, to be fair. Howard Finkel announcing him from the South Pacifics, like he's in Moana or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good though. Good. So we need to talk about something here. Ahmed Johnson. So Martin mentioned at the Royal Rumble episode that Ahmed Johnson was the first ever African American Intercontinental Champion. He is now the second ever African American Intercontinental Champion, Rocky Maivia. This match should have actually been Triple H versus Ahmed Johnson for the IC title. But of course, Ahmed Johnson got injured for Bants. So they just
went down.
He went down. So obviously they made a bit of a change on the fly and thought, do you know what? Let's have a bit of a gamble and a shock surprise and skyrocket the man that we want in that position, Rocky Maivia. And we get this.
When did he make his debut? Was it Survivor Series 96 or 95?
That's right, yeah, November 96, yeah.
So he's only 3 months in, ain't he, really? Like 2 months in.
Yeah.
Really. You know, fair play. What a gamble that turned out to be.
Yeah, that is one of the best gambles you could ever do, really, isn't it? And I know it took, an injury to sort of set him on his path to turn into the Rock and so on and so forth. But yeah, timing's everything, isn't it? And the timing weren't right for our man Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah.
Just imagine if only he hadn't injured his kidneys.
He could have been Dwayne Johnson.
He could have been on fucking Fast and Furious. You know what I mean?
All 7 of them.
Oh, 8. 9, 8.
You tell me.
I don't know.
So anyway, the next match is for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. It is the champion, Rocky Maivia versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Earl Ebner's the referee, so let's just say it straight away. This is The Rock versus Triple H at the beginning of pay-per-view history. So this is the first time that they are in a pay-per-view match. And I've got a feeling over the next few years we might see a lot more of The Rock versus Triple H in pay-per-view matches.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They always matched each other, didn't they? They always matched each other. They always stayed title and then they was fighting for the world title. So they was always on the same sort of level.
So knowing what we know and looking back on this, what are your thoughts on this match? Because we don't really need to talk about the match in general. It was a pretty solid match with a good crowd reaction throughout. I'm going to leave it there, really. Just talk to me about the match and what your feelings were. Dan?
Personally, I think Rocky's moveset is very green. You can tell he's not been training very long.
International hip toss arm drag, bro.
Yeah. Well, I will give credit to one thing, the crossbody off the top rope. Which I am.
Was massive.
That's what she said.
I am one. I was like, what the fuck? Rocky knows what the top rope looks like. I can't think of any point past this where we would actually go to the top rope.
He did it. He did it recently. He did it against Cena.
I didn't
really.
Recently.
That was WrestleMania 29.
Yeah.
And it like a clothesline though. It's not a crossbody, is he?
Yeah, and in fairness,
then it was a crossbody.
Really? And
yeah.
On this crossbody action, I will give credit to that.
It's good.
But yeah, his moveset isn't there yet. Like he's feeling out, but it was a good match. I mean, the only thing I noticed there was any sort of possible issue was when Rocky went for the flight over DDT, and there was a bit of a time delay between him and Triple H taking it. And Triple H looked like he tried to break his own neck.
Yeah, it was a good spike, wasn't it?
You know what? I love going fucking last starter.
It was like he tried to do the roll at the same time.
Oh, Mark, did you want to mention that?
Yeah.
Go on then, talk to me about it, Mark. Shut up, Don.
Yeah, whatever.
Fired.
No, go on, Dan. You carry on. I'm all right.
So I was saying I actually really enjoyed the match, so that is it.
That's all he's got to say about
that. Yeah. What Don said.
Oh, come on, mate. Fucking cheer up.
on.
This is the Intercontinental Championship we're talking about here. This is better than any fucking WCW match that you've made me sit through so far. So give me an opinion on it.
Right. To be fair, this was a good match. I really enjoyed it. It was solid. But there was like a float over DDT. That,
Yeah. What happened, mate? What happened?
He like went over and he went down, and like Triple H got the timing wrong, and he went down.
The timing showed.
Yeah, it looked a bit. So, I don't know if you mind. Did you see that done? Like, it was a bit awkward, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Spike well though, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it was good. It was solid. You know what I loved as well. Like, in all seriousness, like it was the beginning of the whip, duck, and then into the flying knee that Triple H. Yeah. That was like, I love that spot. It's just like, it's just the beginning of my Triple H is like probably my top favorite wrestler of all time.
Okay.
You know,
Revelations.
You've got your top three or whatever, but Triple H has always been top for me. Purely because he's just I think he's just solid. Like, you kind of know in my eyes. Yeah. And like that was just like it sort of like lit a bit of a fire in me. That did. It was like, oh, this is what I remember. Yeah. Not in this early stage, but you know, during his like, you know, pre-title run and then into his title run, his first bit.
I think as he's got older, his selling is so much better.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. Like people bang on about Shawn Michaels, like bang on about Shawn Michaels. But
that was a bit of a direct stare into the camera there, buddy. Is there any particular reason for that, you dickhead?
No, Shawn Michaels is good. Everybody knows that. But you know, people don't really talk. You know, people talk about Dolph Ziggler nowadays and stuff. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's nobody better. Do you know what I mean? But Triple H back in the day was, you know, he was a good seller. Was that your sucking cock, Rob? Is it or what?
Yeah. Fucking Dolph Ziggler. But yeah,
it was brilliant. It was a brilliant match. It was better than the fucking last two anyway. So
definitely.
I say this as well. Just going on to Mark's point, it takes a lot for Triple H to have a bad match.
Yeah,
it's like even at this point in his career,
he has to be working with either fucking Booker T or Scott Steiner to have a bad match. So there you go.
I think he did quite well with Booker T and Scott Steiner to an extent in 2003, roughly. I didn't think it was as bad as you probably think it was. I think if we ever do watch the Ruthless Aggression era and we come across those matches, I don't think they'll be as bad as what you might think they were. I think he was a bit of a dickhead at WrestleMania 19, eating the pedigree and taking roughly 20 seconds to cover Booker T. I think that was a bit out of order. But, you know, life goes on, doesn't it? I think back to Triple H, you said at this time he was pretty green still. And, you know, good matches and so on and so forth. Two matches, like from memory, and this is just from memory, that you wouldn't expect to be decent matches, but they are. And that was one of the In Your House events where he had a hog pen match, I think it was, with Henry O'Godwin. That match is fucking class. Triple H bumps around like an absolute lunatic for Henry Godwin and makes him look like a bona fide superstar. And the other match, surprisingly, is a free-for-all match from the 1996 Royal Rumble against Duke the Dumpster Drosy. And yeah, like, again, Triple H just makes Duke the Dumpster Drosy competent. He makes him look good. And the finish is pretty decent, so yeah.
Trying a good worker, though.
Yeah.
Trying a good worker.
Exactly.
Good.
You ain't got to be the one. You ain't got to be the one who's delivering all these superstar moves and all these big spots. If you can make somebody else look fucking fantastic, then you know, people who know will realise that and they'll think, oh, fuck it, you know, it makes for a good match.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's all we gotta say about that.
I'm gonna say my only other point was like right at the end of the match, Rocky going for the shoulder breaker or signal for it.
Yeah, that was sort of his finish at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did anyone else feel weird about that? You're looking at it's like seeing Austin before he do a stunner. Like that's not right. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So that was the only thing.
I mean, the thing with Austin, I suppose, is we do know him from the WCW days, and we do know the stun gun. So And then when he joined WWF, we know him for the $1 Million Dream because he was associated with Ted DiBiase. But he then really, really started to stand out when he had the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah. I mean, Chili McFreeze, you can use a stun gun or a $1 Million Dream all he wants. But to me, that man and the Stunner is like the perfect fit for
the Ringmaster.
Yeah.
So the finish of the match then. So Goldust makes another appearance. He makes his way to the ring. Now, this was obviously the question mark for me because there was definitely unfinished business from the Royal Rumble. And yes, Triple H has lost his belt on a whim, but he was also supposed to be facing Ahmed Johnson. So where does Goldust fit into all of this? So obviously, Goldust does make a comeback and makes a point that he's still got beef with Triple H, is the best way I can put it. It's a minor distraction. There's no physical contact, but the Rocky Maivia sneaks in from behind. Spoiler alert. And he delivers a bridged back suplex, and that's it. That's the victory. Like 1, 2, 3, job's a good one. So 12 minutes, 30 seconds in, Rocky Maivia retains the Intercontinental Championship, and that is the end of the match. What happens after the match is, well, it turns out to be the debut of China. So Goldust gets up on the apron to confront Triple H, and all of a sudden, Marlena, who was just minding her own business, smoking a cigar, is put in a chokehold by a beast of a lady. I used to be a man.
Oh God!
Oh God! She didn't. We seen her vagina in Playboy. It's a thing. I'm not just saying it. It did happen. She was in Playboy. It's a thing. Do a Google. Enjoy yourself. Knock one out for me. But anyway, God rest her soul. Poor China. She makes a debut here and attacks Marlena, and she chokes the fucking shit out of her.
Yeah,
that was a shoot. That was a shoot choke.
Triple H looked like, oh, that's what I get on an evening.
Yeah. Hey, China, you want to choke my chicken?
Oh, shit. Fuck me, we're going to a dark place tonight. I have had too much rum and coke, I have.
Was that
Kid, get out. X-Pac, get out. Get out from under the bed. You little bastard.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, spoiler alert, the match is over. Dom, what you rating it?
2.5 stars. It was a good, solid match. And, yeah, nothing I can really fault in the match. It was a good, solid match. 2.5 stars.
Martin?
You know what? Like, you need to stop copying me. And another point is, like, I have actually took these star ratings seriously this week, so I did put 2.5 stars as well.
What do you mean? You don't normally take them seriously.
I just try and get a reaction earlier.
Yeah, that's true. I rated it 2 stars.
Okay.
Dave rated it 1.75, also known as 1 3/4 stars. Fuck Dave Meltzer. So Vader is with Paul Bearer, cutting a promo with Kevin Kelly. Where the fuck was Todd Pettengill? That's what I want to know. But Paul Bearer does a much better job of cutting a promo than Vader. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's a good job, Vader. It's a good job Paul Bearer fucking jumped in.
Yeah, it is.
That was going down the fucking shitter. Absolute shitter.
It felt like Paula was doing a translation of what Vader's promo should have been.
Yeah.
Stuff like,
you can understand why nowadays they've got in the performance center. They've got the, you actually go for the promos and the promo training, character training. Not just because that's part of your job, because it is, but because of times like this. Because Vader's been all over the world and he's fucking a beast and he's whatever. God rest his soul, but is it what the fuck?
Paul Bearer had to feed him his own line at the end, didn't he?
What the fuck?
It's Vader time.
Yeah.
Then, you know what I mean?
That was the only part that Vader was confident in saying in the entire promo.
Yeah. All he did was rip it. All he did was fucking quote everybody's fucking trademark catchphrase.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt that. I have never once heard Ice Dagger say a gator butt get that canary mouth in trouble. And he even stumbled on saying that. Direct quote from the man. Direct quote from Vader that. Yeah, fuck me, this was a horrible I thought of the two promos, Sid was going to be bad.
Yeah.
Vader, you fucking
Vader
taken it.
Vader went, hold my drink.
But Austin weren't great either, was he? Austin weren't a great promo either on this occasion.
Well, the promos were terrible, to be fair.
All right. There's another two promos to go. Let's.
So far.
Yeah. I'd have to agree.
These are much better fillers in between matches than Miss NWO though. So
Let's talk about that again, Rob. Let's never talk about that.
Let's
loser.
Loser. So Ahmed Finkel tells us that the tag team championships are on the line as we have Philip Lafon and Doug Furnas, known outside of the World Wrestling Federation as the Can-Am Express, who take on the champions, who are on a rocky road, displayed by Owen jumping in front of the camera, in front of the British Bulldog to get the camera's attention, I should say. So we do have match 4 of 5 for the Tag Team Championship with Doug Furnas, Philip Lafon versus the British Bulldog and Owen Hart, the champions. Jack Doan's the referee here. My opinion to begin with was this should be a decent technical match. Didn't really turn out like that, did it?
What?
Well, I think this match was just overshadowed by what the King and JR was just talking about. They was talking about random stuff in the background, and I was just
switching off.
The King was just going off on a tangent about fucking Ellen and Stu Hart, talking about Bret, saying they only fucking turn up to events when Bret's got a chance at the title.
Yeah.
And they said to Owen Hart, we treat you like one of our own.
Do you know what? He's so true. It's brilliant. The King's a prick. I love it.
I love how fucking salty he was about the whole situation. It's brilliant. So I'm listening. I'm watching the match, but I'm listening to the King as well. But it started a bit dodgy, but I think it was. I think it picked up pretty quick. To be fair.
Yeah.
I think there was some good technical exchanges between Furnas and Owen in the very beginning.
At the beginning.
A little bit at the very beginning. Lafon was fucking horrible.
He was awful, wasn't he?
He was the shit.
Yeah.
He really was.
Is he the one who couldn't fucking hit the ropes properly?
He was the one that couldn't sell, he couldn't hit the ropes, he couldn't bump, he couldn't feed, he couldn't unless he was looking in Owen's eyes going, what's next then, bro?
Yeah.
And Owen was like, this you dickhead. And he was legit carried through that match. Carried through that match.
Yeah, if you'd have said to me watching it, I was give me Doug Furnas versus Owen Hart, I'd be actually, you know what? I'd actually want to watch that match now. Seeing
you probably can on an episode of Monday Night Raw or Superstars, brother.
I hope so. But the match for me was just. It was bad, but it was there to serve a purpose. It wasn't a serious match. It was there to progress a story.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate that. What the fuck was Clarence Mason doing there?
For his $1,000 payday?
What, because he wasn't already out with the nation?
And that's a thing for me, right? So Clarence Mason was brought on as the lawyer for Camp Cornette after Vader destroyed Gorilla Monsoon the night after WrestleMania 12 or the Royal Rumble. I can't remember what it was. It was in 1996 anyway. So Clarence Mason was brought in as this lawyer to basically protect Camp Cornette and so on and so forth. So he always associated with them. And then all of a sudden he's with Farouk. I don't know where that I don't know how that happened or why that happened, but it did. But he still felt the need to do double duty and go out with Camp Cornette. So you've got Camp Cornette, you've got the Nation of Domination, but you've got this side piece, Clarence Mason, who is a lawyer, representing both of them. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I think originally Sonny got Clarence Mason in to back Farouk in case of a lawsuit for breaking or rupturing Ahmed's kidneys, if I remember correctly.
So, okay. So what you're telling me is all stories revolve around Ahmed Johnson in 97.
96, 97, up until he retired, really. You've got to think the new sensation of 1996.
Yeah.
The Kuwaiti trophy winner. He's just a fucking man. He 4 knee pads or not, like the British Bulldog. Bazaar!
Yeah. Speaking of fucking knee pads, I've got a gripe about knee pads in this match. If you want to be prepared for a match, talk to a Kuwaiti champion, right? He's got 4. He can spare you a pair. At least he's wearing them on the fucking part of the anatomy where it specifies. Bulldog fucking wears them as shin pads. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's because he's British. He's from Manchester.
Yeah.
It's 1997, so, Eric Cantona's wearing them as socks. He's wearing shin pads as
ready
socks.
for World Cup 98 in London.
There you go. It was
No.
96. No, he's just got over 96. 98 was in France, wasn't he?
There you go.
I'm sorry.
We got there.
I'm sorry, but
Beckham got sent off, then in 98.
He did. Bastard.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to talk about anything else other than that fucking stupid cunt who wears 4 knee pads, but yeah, carry on.
The British Bulldog or Ahmed Johnson? Bizarre! So,
bizarre.
Yeah, like, when I think back about Philip Lafon and Doug Furnas, initially, what comes to mind, without watching them back, like we have had the opportunity to do now, I think underrated. I think should have had a better run. Should have been tag team champions. Should have done more with them because they were great technical wrestlers. And then I watched this match and they have the opportunity of a lifetime against Bulldog and Owen, who are the best tag team in the World Wrestling Federation at this point. And it's a bag of shit. They're awful. No, and that's unfair on Furnas, in all fairness. Or yeah, it is. Yeah. It's unfair on him. Lafon lets them down massively. Like you say, the point of the match is to develop and progress a storyline between British Bulldog and Owen Hart, which I don't really think goes anywhere from memory, if I'm completely honest. But it's dead weird because it obviously started at the Royal Rumble. It's continuing here. I just don't know. I think it leads to the European Championship tournament, which actually took place in Germany, and it was Bulldog Owen in the final. Bulldog obviously goes over, as historians of wrestling will know. But I don't know where the payoffs come in, because I don't think it happens at WrestleMania, which would have made the most sense. Owen and Bulldog have a little bit of breakdown in communication, and Bulldog gets a really big babyface cheer when he sort of pushes Owen down.
Yeah.
But then he goes and breaks up the cover, and it's like, okay, what's going on? And then that happens for another, what feels like 10 minutes. The match only lasts 10 minutes, 31 seconds, but it does feel like that goes on for a good period of this match where Bulldog breaks it up. Then Owen starts breaking it up.
Yeah.
And it's back and forth, and Lafon and Furnas look like they're going to win the tag team titles. And then Bulldog eventually goes for his running power slam. But before he can hit it, Owen uses Slammy Award to hit Lafon. Jack Doan awards the match as DQ to Lafon and Furnas. Obviously, Bulldog and Owen keep and retain the tag team championship. So that's the finish. But I think it's just a bit all over the gaff, to be honest with you. Just like the way I'm describing it right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I watched that match, and hearing you explain it, I'm watching it. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I'm confused. Yeah. I'll be honest. If the whole idea is, right, okay, we're going to turn, say, Bulldog face, it was fine, but it was like they wanted to keep both guys heel.
Yeah.
So it was like, I think in that situation, you have to make a decision. Go, right, one guy's going to go one way, one guy's going to go the other. Pick a lane, bitch.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of the story, they could have lost the belts on this night, and
I agree.
They should have lost the belts. I mean, like you said, Doug Furnas actually after watching this and seeing other bits, did rate him. Lafon, I might need to rethink that. But it could have worked just for the sake of an upset. These two guys barely been in the company. They've just beaten your tag champions and won the belts. But yeah. Other than that, though, I don't know about this match. I'm confused. I'm really confused what to rate it. It wasn't brilliant, but it was bizarre. Yeah, exactly. He lived up to the promo from last month.
Martin?
I loved it. I love this match. I don't know what you guys are watching, but I fucking loved it.
You're going to fucking rate these 3 stars, aren't you, again, or something? I don't know.
We'll get to the star rating. So, like, this match, like, I brought into it. I loved it. It was near finishes. There was drama. There was great storytelling. Owen Hart is a fucking, like, Owen Hart run that ring like a fucking general. Yeah. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Bulldog looked a bit, like, dodgy at times, like a bit awkward. I don't know. Maybe it's who he was working with. Maybe I don't know. Just didn't look like it worked. There was a bit where he threw him up the rope. He whipped him off, and he went for like a really staggered like drop down. And then I can't remember what Owen Hart done after. I think he must have done something. I can't remember exactly what the spot was. It just looked really weird. I don't know, but I loved like the drama. I love drama, and I loved the near falls, and I loved it. I loved the end. Probably the last half of the match was brilliant for me. It told a great story. It showed. I brought into that frustration.
Yeah.
Of that tug between Bulldog, like he's got to keep his cool, but he's losing his head. Owen Hart's being a little prick. What the fuck's going on? I brought into it. And I loved it. I thought it was great.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, Mark, what's your stars?
5. No, I'm joking. You weren't that good. No, I did put 3 actually. I loved it. I think it was a great match. Yeah.
Done.
1.5. 1.5.
That's funny. I'm also 1.5, to be honest with you. What's funny about it is Dave rated it 3.25 stars. I did want to mention, actually, there was a couple of things that I really liked, but the main thing that I liked was when Bulldog did a stalling suplex and Owen did a crossbody off the top rope at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, it was really, really nice, to be honest with you. So 10 minutes 31 seconds, decent tag team championship match.
Can I just say as well, just to add to that, like the king of the running heel, the spinning wheel kick, the running spinning wheel kick.
Yes. When
Bulldog held him up and he ducked.
Yeah.
Owen Hart's spinning wheel kicks are just fucking off this planet.
Insecurity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was putting that over strong because apparently that's what put Michaels out as well.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. It upsets me just as much when he was crying for when he lost his smile, to be honest.
I think looking at these Owen Hart matches, like back now, like I think I've gained more of a respect for him as well.
Yeah.
Like more than what I did.
Okay.
And yeah. Definitely.
Legend. Absolute legend. So obviously an argument breaks out. Clarence Mason pretty much does earn his money this time round as he's in the middle of the Bulldog and Owen, and Bulldog is proper fucking aggressive and bizarre and everything else in between. But they kiss and make up and they leave for the night with the belts. The Undertaker then delivers a promo about how he will soon return to his glory days. Strangely, he then says by hook or by crook. It's an absolute terrible promo, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, because he's not really been talking as much as... Like, the last couple of years, he's been the character Undertaker. Now you're feeling Mark.
Yeah.
He's to creep into it.
Mm.
And I don't think he'd found the balance yet to sort of go, okay, this is... So, I feel this is...
I don't think he ever did.
I think there was times when he could actually walk that line and it worked. I think this show for me, if nothing else, is like a middle period for a lot of people.
Okay.
Promos for most people were middle of the road. They were trying to do something, but they hadn't got there yet. I think matches, mostly were decent though. But I think there's a couple of matches again, middle of the road. They going somewhere, but they haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with the Taker one, I was really like,
this promo looks like Mark Calloway's gone back to 1997 and done an episode of Untold. Like, it's a bit weird because, like, I don't know if you picked it up, but like at the end of the promo as well, he said, "It's not when, and it's not how, but I will." I think
rest assured.
Yeah,
I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion. How about that, Doc Hendrix?
Yeah, it just didn't make like. I think he just like he said something and then realised what he'd said, and it just looked really like awkward.
Yeah,
and then he passed it back. He passed it back to Doc Hendrix, but then he went rest in peace.
Yeah,
he just didn't know what he was doing, did he?
Yeah.
You got a feeling this show though that everyone was sort of like, right, you got 45 seconds to put a promo, go. No script.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, there was on the way to the ring or on the way to somewhere, on the way to the toilet. Oh, Austin, do you want to what are you putting your boots on? Fucking cut a promo.
With your time, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only promo is coming up.
Yeah, agreed.
This is the promo I actually liked.
So obviously King, before we get to that, says that he's controlling the blimp as he advertises Western Union again. Howard Finkel gives us the introduction. Guruna Monsoon is ready to present the championship because the following contest is our main event for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. The rules are simple. You can either win by pinfall, submission, or over the top rope elimination. That is the rules of this final four-way match, as the graphic that JR and King talk us through. It's basically no holds barred. Do what you fucking want, and that's what we get, really. It is fatal four-way match, elimination match. So it's Bret the Hitman Hart versus The Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vader. And just when you hear their four names, you think, fuck me, this has the potential to be amazing. And I'll be honest, they don't disappoint me. Earl Ebner, Mike Chioda, they're the referees. Earl Ebner in the ring, Mike Chioda outside the ring for the elimination. So let's just talk about the entrances before we go into the match. Vader and Paul Bearer, they head out first. Vader destroys the steps for no reason whatsoever, just for bants. Just been a bastard. Austin's out next. Him and Vader square off and basically give each other the finger, the bird. They flip birds. JR apologises for it, but let's be honest, it won't be long before he stops apologising.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Undertaker makes his classic entrance. So that's nice. Yeah, that's cool as usual. And then Bret cuts his promo, as you referred to there, Don, just before making his way through the entrance. Yeah, it was a decent promo, like you say. I think it was definitely the best one on the night.
He didn't seem to rush it. I think that's what everyone else did. He seemed very calm, like, I know what I'm going to say.
It was over, didn't it?
Yeah. Everyone else seemed to like, Gator, fucking canary arse. Undertaker.
I don't think Bret puts himself over enough.
No, he doesn't. He does end the promo.
He's very modest, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. That ain't enough. Just, stop being so, don't sit on the fence. Tell me how you really feel about yourself.
He does say, Mark, he does say at the end of the promo that may the best man win, and that's going to be him. So he does basically tell them to go fuck themselves and that he's winning, end of story.
Yeah.
I think the problem is in wrestling, though, that if you try and like make yourself seem confident, it can come across as egotistical. Oh. And that's usually an ill trait. I think. That's my opinion.
Oh, well, what are you trying to say, mate?
Saying, that's my opinion. I just think it's a heel. It's a heel thing.
I'll tell you what he's saying. I've got a little thing like that can read his mind. He says, when you put on that singlet, you turn into a fucking cunt. That's what he said.
I'm all right with that. I am all right with it.
And then when you take it off, you're all right again.
Yeah, I'm half decent. I'm not like fully all right, but I'm half decent. I think, this match is really, really underrated, and anybody that is listening should go and check it out. It's In Your House 13, Final 4. Fatal 4-way match between The Undertaker, Austin, Vader, and Hart for the WWF title. Definitely go watch it. It's a really, really good one. Very underrated.
Can I just say something?
Better enough. Yeah, go for it.
Like, this, it's a farce. This is an absolute farce, this match is.
Why?
Because, but like, tell me that this is off the back of the Rumble. Am I right in thinking that? The Final Four?
Yeah.
But it's not.
And I know where you're going with this, so go on, carry on.
So what's the crack with that then, Rob?
Okay.
So basically, like when Stone Cold gets chucked out, there's 5 men left. There's Vader, Taker, Stone Cold, Bret, and Vic Diesel. Right?
Right.
So Bret Hart, the Rumble. This is the Rumble recap. Bret Hart chucks Stone Cold out.
Yeah.
Stone Cold sneaks back in, and then while Bret Hart is trying to get Fake Diesel out, Stone Cold comes and runs and gets Taker and Vader out at the same time.
Yeah.
Before Fake Diesel gets chucked over the top rope. So technically,
who does he get chucked out by? Who does Fake Diesel get chucked out by?
Bret.
Okay, and then go on, carry on.
And then Bret thinks he's won, and then he gets chucked out by Austin.
Okay.
So technically, what's a crack?
I love that you've asked the question, but you already know the answer now because you've talked yourself through it, haven't you? But the basics of it is, the way that they played this is that Diesel or Fake Diesel at the time, was eliminated by someone legally in the match. The other 3 men that you mentioned wasn't eliminated by a legal man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but the way that they were telling the storyline is, we're the World Wrestling Federation. We don't do instant replays. We don't have that rule. So the referee's decision is final. But Gorilla Monsoon was so pissed off that Stone Cold would do such a heinous thing that he said, you motherfucker can go and wrestle the other 3 in this Final 4 match for the opportunity to go ahead for WrestleMania for the championship. Obviously, this match now becomes the title match because of Shawn Michaels. Does that clear it up for you? Do you still think it's a load of bullshit and Diesel should have been involved or what?
I think it'd have been good to have Final 5, yeah.
Okay.
I'd argue make it a Final 6 because obviously you've got Sid.
Fuck it, let's have another Royal Rumble. Fucking hell on.
Yeah. Fucking battle ball this shit.
Number 30, the heartbreaking Shawn Michaels comes out because he knows he's over.
I want to see a battle ball with these guys.
Good old battle bowl. They're a fucking interesting match, them, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
We need to try and cover one at some point.
I think we probably will come across one, actually, won't we?
I think that's pre this era, I think.
Was it?
I think it's a little bit. I think it's like 495 when there was.
Yeah.
That's a shame. The Battle Bowl is an interesting concept, just as interesting as this one, which is, one of its kind, really. And like I've said, it's not talked about often enough. So regardless of Fake Diesel being involved or not, I think this match is really good. The Undertaker gets the first real shine in the match. Vader's eye is busted open dead early. I'm not sure if it's from the chair or the steps, to be completely honest. I know they put it over as the chair.
It was nasty, that.
Yeah, the way it lands on the steps, I'm not convinced it could have been either of them. But it was brutal, wasn't it? He looked like, to me, and this is just the way that I've seen it when he come back in a little bit later, he looked like, in Hostel, where her eye gets burnt out.
Yeah.
That's
what
his
eye popped out before as well, didn't it? So, and he popped it back in.
It was the other eye.
Yeah, it's just got like a
eye that came out in the match with Hunter.
Horrible.
Yeah, prone to mad injuries, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
Blade job. I'm convinced it was a blade job.
I don't know.
Really?
You've got to think of the diameter of his mask, right?
Yeah.
Most people cross the hairline or be somewhere in the forehead area.
You just said hairline. You. Why don't you fucking point? Why don't you fucking point to one of our hairlines, you bold prick?
Yes, so I'm fucking reaching to the camera.
Break the 4-4, brother. Oh, class.
The thing I've got is because of the
The
mask
airline across the fucking eyebrow.
But I think it's a blade job. I personally think it's a blade job.
I don't know. I think Vader's past blade jobs. I think Vader would be like. I don't know. I don't know. Why would he blade his eye?
Main event,
main event, brother. I love that. That's your reasoning.
I think if I got zero, that would be his reasoning.
I don't know. I think it was an accident. I really do. But
we'll never know.
Well, no, we're not going to be able to ask Big Leon, are we? Unfortunately, maybe Taker can, tweet us and tell us now that he's breaking kayfabe these days.
Nah, he's fucking Michelle McCool on her birthday. He is.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, happy birthday to you recently.
Yeah.
Also, the Honky Tonk Man 0 stars. So. Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth, mainly between Austin and Bret, Taker and Vader, following on the theme from the Royal Rumble event. They do switch dance partners now and again. Austin goes for a stunner on the Undertaker, but hits a dead awkward net breaker at one point.
That was vile.
Dead horrible, wasn't it?
Absolutely vile.
Yeah.
And then JR calls it as a modified
stunner. Yeah. Terrible.
To me, if you hit a modification of a finisher, that's like a super finisher.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put him over.
It's a stunner from the top rope, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this match gets definitely the most reaction from the crowd on the night.
Yeah.
Vader takes a lot of punishment, but at the same time wails the shit out of everybody that's moving. Especially Stone Cold at one point, out on the outside. He just starts wailing the shit out of him in the timekeeper's area because it just goes to shit over there, doesn't it?
Yeah. You see when he reversed him and he was running and he run around the stairs and then just jumped into the timekeeper.
Yeah, I felt sorry for that bloke.
Yeah, mate, he was legit fucked in the corner, wasn't he?
Yeah. Just covering up and then hoping for his life, really.
Yeah.
He felt like he was doing that at one point. He was just sort of looking like, "You're gonna get over it or what?"
Yeah, Miss Trunchbull of Matilda. That's the only way I can describe it.
It's a good reaction.
Odd references tonight.
Yeah.
Really odd references. I will say this though. I said last time at the Rumble, Austin felt like a fighter. Like everyone else felt like a wrestler. He felt like a fighter. I felt in this match, Vader and Taker definitely felt like they were there for a fight. They weren't there to wrestle.
Yeah.
And I love that about this match.
Vader was just clobbering the fuck out of everybody that won. He wasn't fucking about. He never does. That's his character, ain't he? That's him.
Yeah. Strangely though, Vader took some right bumps in this match as well because early on in the match he took a chokeslam from the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He took a Russian leg sweep that I thought was going to set off an earthquake. He missed the top rope moonsault that definitely
threw himself around. Definitely. Yeah.
So the big lad, fair play to him. As much as he was blowing and exhausted at times, it seemed.
Mate, he worked hard. And don't forget, if you're fucking pouring of blood, you're losing blood, you ain't got that. I've never done that. I've never actually wrestled like pissing of blood.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that you're going to be weak, man. You're losing blood cells, you know what I mean?
And he just found that extra energy, didn't he? And
carried on.
Yeah. I do feel that the first elimination took far too long. So the match itself goes for 24 minutes and 6 seconds. Spoiler alert, Austin is the first person eliminated. It's an over-the-top rope elimination. Bret eliminates him. And it seems out of left field. It doesn't feel like Austin... If you're booking this smartly, Vader goes first.
Yeah.
But then again, though, did they want the dynamic? Realistically, if it was me, I'd have had the two heels, one face.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works.
The only thing I can think of is to have Austin go first by Bret. Obviously Austin's still going to WrestleMania. Am I wrong? So he's still going to WrestleMania for technically winning the Rumble. Obviously, Bret, he's not going to WrestleMania.
No. The shit can Gorilla Monsoon basically says You got to win this match to go to the Rumble now.
Yeah.
To WrestleMania, right? Okay.
But
so
then
he lost his spot.
Then it becomes the title match, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So I was thinking maybe if he was going to, WrestleMania, have him to build that heat with him and Bret to make that match at WrestleMania mean a bit more because he got eliminated first or whatever. But obviously, he probably comes around to that anyway. But that's my only thinking of having Austin going first. Vader should have gone first, like you said, in my opinion.
Well, he definitely works itself back around to obviously that match. We all know the famous match at WrestleMania 13 between Austin and Bret that we're certainly looking forward to watching and talking about in more detail on the WrestleMania 13 episode, which will be coming very soon on the back of this one. But at the time, Austin goes out. We're left with the three, so Vader, Taker, and Bret Hart. Vader just takes off his mask because he's pissed off. The blood is everywhere. Apparently, while this is happening, off camera, Paul Bearer hits the Undertaker with the earth.
They're not doing some replays, but they do today.
He just fucking hates him, doesn't he? Paul Bearer absolutely hates him at this point. He's great. Vader goes to the top rope again, but this time Bret Hart, and I can't believe I'm going to say these words, Bret Hart superplexes Vader from the top rope. Fuck me.
It was snug as well.
Yeah,
Just about that was. He didn't push off enough, did he?
Vader had to work hard to get over,
He didn't push
and again,
off
fair play to Vader in that. Yeah. Like, he's losing plasma and he's still taking bumps. That's going to increase his heart rate. He's going to bleed more.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So
he ain't slowing down since he got busted open. He never took a breather.
Just keeps going.
If anything, what he was doing was going around the ring and fucking dragging people out to go and fucking clobber them down the fucking walkway.
Literally down the aisleway, yeah. He was kicking the shit out of people down there.
All night, chuck him over the railings into the fans. Show the fans a bit of the blood, like.
Yeah.
You can understand his thinking. That's a good work, man. I appreciated that.
I'll be honest, the way they were making it seem, like at least in commentary, it almost felt like they were trying to sort of turn him face. It's like, when
the sympathy, like,
yeah, it's like, he's going so long, he's still fighting. It's like, we have to give credit to that, which I can appreciate that.
I mean, he does turn later on in the year, really. I'm not sure if even by WrestleMania he's turned face, to be honest.
I don't think he has, but we'll find out.
We will.
But I don't know if that's like a seed. That's like the first seed of a face.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, like, absolutely. So, on the back of that, sharpshooters applied. Taker breaks it up though, which I found really, really odd.
Right, that was the oddest thing about a sharpshooter this night, not the fact that Vader hit it on
Vader did apply a sharpshooter on Bret Hart on the outside of the ring.
Bret seemed like
all of 2 seconds. Yeah, Bret was like, nah, this ain't happening. But Leon was like, fuck you prick.
He was dead funny. You could just like see like the struggle.
Yeah.
Bret was like, I am not turning over. Fuck you, what you doing? Don't come here and fucking shoot on me, you little fucker.
It happens though.
Yeah.
That Vader hitting a sharpshooter on Bret Hart was my move of them.
You can just imagine like Leon's like Vader's like outside the ring thinking, what can I do? Oh, fucking hell, there he is, little pink fucking wearing tights. Get on the floor. You can just imagine, like, that's what sort of, like, fucking...
I've got a receipt from Steve Borden in WCW.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
It's funny, man.
So, a lot happens. Austin ends coming back out, coming back, in, out, shaking all about. It was a bit crazy. Vader then goes to the top rope. The Undertaker, he goes to the middle rope to deliver the Vader bomb, I think. Undertaker gets up though and basically just chucks Vader into the third row. Well, that's what it felt anyway. What a reaction from the crowd at that point.
Yeah. But I think the crowd were behind Taker all night.
Yeah.
Biggest reaction in coming out. Every time he sort of did anything of note, they popped for it. I think the biggest pop comes up, but I think up to now he seems like he's the most over person in the match.
Yeah. I mean,
again, though, talking about like pops, like Stone Cold again. come out. It took him about fucking 60 seconds.
Yeah, it took forever to come out.
Took forever to come out. But he didn't even get like, you know, it's the same old saying, ain't it? Like it's like you want a reaction, whether it's good or bad. You want something because that means somebody cares enough to give you a reaction. It's probably not the reaction you want, but like it's something that somebody's giving you. But like I couldn't see anything with Stone Cold. So like, you know, he's what, 8 months on King of the Ring win here.
Yeah.
Into this attitude, he's got his new his jacket with the Austin and the skulls, the start of the branding of his leather jacket and all that sort of stuff. But there's no reaction again. It's like nobody cared, and it's mad. You know, Austin only has to show up. He only has to show up at WrestleMania nowadays, and the crowd goes fucking wild.
And that's the thing. You
know what I mean?
Now,
It's
a month
mad.
later at WrestleMania, the reaction starts to come. Yeah, it's dead weird how close we are to that moment.
It's just mad to listen to that music, to watch him walk down the aisle, to nothing. It's just a really weird picture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like The Rock and Triple H because they've got different music, they look different. Whereas Stone Cold at this point looks exactly the same as what he did when he was fucking terrorizing McMahon. Do you know what I mean? And like it's a weird visual, and it plays my mind really bad.
Well, like I said, like I said last month, this is the revisionist history of it. He wins the 96 King of the Ring. He's instantly the biggest face in the company. Everyone loves him. Crowds 316 everywhere. No.
They don't push it enough, do they?
Nowhere near. Speaking of Austin's ring jacket, Mort, I know you're a fan of the entrance here. What do you think of Steve Austin's leather vest?
I think it's all right. I prefer a long jacket with a collar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the seamstress Mart section of the... There was a lot of ring jackets tonight, and I was got to buy that. I wanted that so many times.
Yeah, we didn't. Oh, mate, feel free to step in and ask him about every ring jacket there ever was. So
Flash Funk can fuck off. Triple H's was really, really good. If he wore a ring, if I can remember right, he wore a ring jacket.
He wore a house coat.
A house coat, yes.
It's actually a dressing gown turned inside out.
There you go.
Did Mark Merrow wear one?
Sable, yeah. I know it took a second for you to get it.
So back to the match. So the crowd are hot as fuck as we're left with Taker and Hart. Choke slam from the Undertaker to Bret Hart, followed by the dreaded signal to say it's all over, as he gives the old cutthroat, ready for the tombstone. It won't be the last time we see that this year before something iconic happens. But this time round, Austin is so determined to try and get Bret Hart when Undertaker gets him up for the tombstone.
He's obsessed.
He is obsessed with Bret. He really is. In the end, he helps Bret Hart, wins the match when the Undertaker is eliminated by a clothesline over the top rope. So all 3 pinfalls, submissions, and none of that. It all turns out to be eliminations, which is ironic,
doesn't work
really.
For me, brother. That's what it is.
No one wants to get pinned.
No one's getting pinned. Yeah. Nobody's tapping out in that match at all.
So Bret Hart becomes the World Wrestling Federation champion for the 4th time in his career. What a match. I think it ends quite abruptly at this point before we go to an advert for WrestleMania 13. And then we come back to Bret celebrating in the ring. There's pyro, there's fireworks, and then Sid's music hits. Obviously, he's challenging Bret the Hitman Hart the next night now on Raw for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And then it just goes off air. We're done. It's finished.
But before it goes off air, if you look at Sid, he's like looking around as if to like get the signal that the cameras have gone off. Yeah. He's like run out of things to say, apparently. Like he's been waiting all night. He's been standing in front of these TVs going, or whatever the fucking hell he's doing. Like he wants somebody to fucking, like he wants a winner. Like what the fuck, man. But yeah, he comes out and he's a big fucking and his jacket's shit as well.
His jacket shit as well. Deep breath, lads. Mark,
You trying to find your centre then, Mark?
I'm really I'm using all my energy at the minute. Goose fraba.
So what did you reckon, Dodd?
I'm going to say 3 stars, but this was by far the best match of the night. Everyone performed as like up to this quality in the match. Also, I felt it quite weird. I can't think of many multi-man matches like this.
No.
Like 4-ways or triple threats. There hadn't been a lot of this time in WWF. So for that stipulation, I actually think it worked really well.
You did.
But yeah, I'm going to say 3 stars.
Martin?
Well, I didn't enjoy it as much as probably you two did. I think it...
What is that?
I think it was good. I just wasn't a fan of but like Don said, maybe because they haven't had many of these matches before. They didn't know what the template was. They didn't know what worked, who the agents was who was booking and putting it together. Did they actually know what worked best? I don't know. But it didn't quite work for me. It just seemed really... Probably because I'm looking at it in a different way, maybe, to how I think of them nowadays or what I've seen post these matches. I'm not looking at it probably at this time, in this era, in this month, in this year. Do you know what I mean? It just didn't capturize me. I can appreciate it, and I know it worked, and I know it was a good solid match. It just didn't work for me in that way. Maybe because there was too many pairings off. You know, that your front and center stage is the middle of the ring. Anything else outside happens, but then your main focus comes into the ring, doesn't it? Mainly, that's that's your stage, front stage center. There wasn't, I don't know, it just seemed like there's too many pairings off for me. There wasn't enough transition.
Okay.
Because I just had Vader walking around the ring thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to take you out. And then, oh, yeah, you can go over there. And, you know, I don't know. It just seemed like maybe a lot more transition should have happened. Maybe, for me.
That's a fair point.
Maybe.
Yeah. So how many stars?
I enjoyed it. I'll give it 3.5 stars. I think it had the potential to be more, to be fair. I enjoyed it enough to give it 3.5 stars. It was the best match of the night. I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Just not. I don't know. There's too many pairings off, and it might as well have just been 2 single matches put together at the end of the show. For me,
yeah.
You know, that's what sort of kind of impression I got.
Would you
Definitely.
have liked? Sorry, Mark. Like what you're saying then? Would you have liked maybe like a 3-match tournament?
Maybe. Maybe this should have worked. Maybe it should have worked more than what I wanted it to, or maybe I think it did.
Don't forget, Martin wanted a fatal 5-way match with Diesel.
I wanted a 6 with Sid in, so I can't talk.
Well, there you go. If you chuck Glenn Jacobs in there, he's going to sort the shit out, ain't he? He's going to sort it out for you. No, in all seriousness, I think
the mayor.
I could have made a full tournament of this, right? So we got the 6 there. You could have thrown Mil Mascamus back in, as he was fucking robbed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To be fair, he didn't get eliminated, did he?
Yeah.
So.
And he got robbed. And I don't know. You could have thrown Rocky. This would have been before he'd have won the title. You could have said, right, Rocky's in the tournament as well.
Yeah.
You'd have had an 8-man tournament. You could have run through the night.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to you and your wrestling challenge. Fuck off with your tournament. I love a tournament.
Do love a tournament.
Don't get to the erection over tournaments. That's just the way it is.
The semis.
Yeah, he's already at a semi thinking about it. So I rated this match 4 stars. Martin, I really do agree with your analysis of, you know, not enough transitions and there was too much pairing off. And I think, you know, Vader got a little bit bored with someone, so he'd go and swap.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brings the match down, really. Other than that, the length is a little bit too long for me. 24 minutes, 6 seconds. Definitely the longest match of the night by far. But that's where what you've said fills that time. And that's why it goes on for so long. If you take that shit out and you get 18 to 20 minutes, jobs are good and you probably got a 5-star match on your hand.
Definitely.
Dave rates it at 4.25 stars.
Okay.
And that's it. We're done. That is the end of WWF In Your House 13 Final Four. Our average overall star ratings then. So our combined total works out to this show at 1.8. So we have rated this show collectively at 1.8. Me and Martin have averaged out at 1.9. Don, you've rated it at 1.7. That's where it brings it down a little bit to 1.8. I play with Google Sheets. I like Google Sheets. Yes, I do. So, yeah, not a bad show overall, considering 5 matches on the card.
Yeah, it was good. One thing I like about the In Your House shows, it doesn't feel like a slog to get through. It's like nice and quick. Here's a couple of matches. Thank you and good night. So I actually really like the In Your House formula.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the next couple. The next however many more we've got to watch.
Yeah, I mean, eventually there will become a 3-hour event. This was 1 hour 43. But I'm all right with it, I think. I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, as we're watching like the pay-per-views sort of like weekly, monthly, sometimes you just say like, fuck, I can't sit here and watch 3 hours of Vince Russo trying to fucking wax his own arse.
He wasn't there yet, and we were still putting up with shit in WCW. But that's another story. Martin, what did you reckon of this event in whole? And does that star rating as an overall collective team give a fair outcome to this one?
I think so, because obviously, you know, it's such a low rating considering the main event, but there was some shit at the start one, and there was, you know, some shit that could have been done better, but you know, it is what it is. Like you say, the In Your House is just a bit of it's not the main event, because at this point they've still got just the main 4, ain't they? They're still transitioning, you know. I think they got the King of the Ring added into that. So, you know, they're still trying to fill in a monthly pay-per-view, and this was just a bit of a more of a premium, you know, a premium live show or whatever that there was running at the time. So it does get better, and I think, you know, I think it's a fair star rating.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, fuck it, we're out of here. Get 10% off the Rock's book off Martin's shelf directly at therock.com. All you got to do is use the code HOTTAG10. We will see you next time. Unfortunately, next time is a WCW pay-per-view. Oh, fuck that shit. But then I can't wait to get back to WWF for WrestleMania 13, baby. So for me, I've been Rob Campbell alongside
Daniel. The one thing you need to know about me is I have 27 dog shits in my pocket. Cornfield.
Oh, fuck it. I've got to take a moment, lads. I've got to take a moment. Oh, shit, man. Unbelievable. Who else have I been with?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Pop myself.
Ahmed Johnson's #1 fan, Martin Holland.
Fuck right off.
And that's what Sable said to Mark Merrow.
Before he smacked her in the face.
Until next time, we will catch you on the fly. Don't forget to check out our social media channels over at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hot Tag Reviews on all 3. Get involved. Drop us a message if you want to be involved in the show somehow, shape, or form. Love you loads. See you later. Bye.
Bye.